What's up, turtles? Krik here with Blackout Outdoors, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Samick Journey Recurve Takedown 64-inch bow. I have the bow unassembled in front of me on the table, and it's a takedown bow, and that's one of the primary reasons I bought this bow, because the takedown aspect means you can carry it in your pack, take the limbs off of the riser, and you can also add different pound limbs. But with that being said, let's move down the table and start looking at the details of the bow. Take a look at the riser first. And this is a laminate made from white oak, maple, and diamond wood, I believe, DY. And I think it looks really pretty, honestly. I'm a right-handed shooter, so my left hand is grabbing the riser right here, and right above me is the arrow shelf. And also on this riser, there are points for other accessories. I believe you can put like a quiver or an arrow holder on here. I believe you can even put a reel if you want to do bow fishing. So it's a really versatile bow that has excellent reviews, which is one of the reasons why I bought this Journey. Moving on to the limbs now. Let me back up for a second. I'm a beginner, a novice at best, so all of my decisions were based off the perspective that I'm a beginner. What bow do I want to buy? All right, so here are the limbs, and let me find the text on these limbs. These are made from maple and black fiberglass. So again, this is saying Samick Journey. Journey is the model from the company Samick. 64 is telling me the length of the bow, 64 inches, and 30 right here is the pounds of the limbs, and I believe I have 45 pounds as well. But 30 is really nice because if I'm doing a lot of shooting, it allows me to focus on technique, and if I'm bringing this around other people, that just a lighter, easier bow to pull back, more people can have fun with it. We have two of those, and you can see the curve in this, and it'll make more sense why this is called a recurve bow once I get it all assembled. And looking at the tip of the limb, you can see then the position or the space for the string, and that's on the end of each limb. Over here we have two limb bolts, and they do exactly what you think. They bolt the limbs to the riser, singular. Take a look at the string now, and I purchased this string as well. I'm not sure exactly what the material is, but I did actually I made my own string when I took a class at the North American Bushcraft School. But we'll take a look at the string. Some important features are the ends. We have a loop right here that goes over the end of the limbs, and I believe this is a Flemish twist coming from this loop and then getting twisted down into the line. Flemish twist, really popular to use on bowstrings. And the gentleman at the store actually put this knocking point on me. He figured that out for me, and these two little red lines or strings, whatever, in between that is where I knock the arrow. And I have two whiskers on here on the string. These are just for silencing the string, less noise. It's one of the reasons why I love shooting bow and arrow as opposed to just a firearm, just because it's quiet. It's just a way different, more intimate experience, I feel. All right, so now I'll move to the front of the table, showing some things for protection, safety, and comfort. Here's a shooting glove, 3 fingers. I actually bought this at the store as well. You don't really need this if you're not shooting much, but it's nice to have. And over here is an arm guard I made that's been featured in multiple videos of ours at this point. And it's just a piece of thick leather that goes on the inside of your forearm. And basically what it does is protect your arm for whenever you're sloppy in your form. Because if your form's correct every time you're shooting, you'll never hit the inside of your forearm with the string. But if you do, you're gonna be left with a welt. All right, let's keep looking down here now, see what we're gonna shoot with, and have some arrows. This is a quiver I bought, pretty inexpensive, pretty cheap. I have plans to make a really nice leather one, a cool leather one, if I shoot more. I don't shoot that much right now, so I'm not gonna put the time and money into a nice quiver until I can justify it to myself. But let's take a look at the arrows. These are just some field tips, and you can see this one's missed the target a few times, probably hit some rocks, all smashed over a field tip. And the arrow lengths are specific to your draw length, so you need to know your draw length before you can purchase arrows. Now we're looking at the other business end of your arrow, which is the fletching and the nock. And these are turkey feathers. You can see there's a lot of give to them, so when the arrow is resting on the arrow shelf and you release the string, this feather will give to keep the arrow straight and true, or keep it true on its path of trajectory. That's important when you're shooting off this. You can't have plastic fletching. Might be hard to see in the light, but this darker side of this fletching lets me know how I nock the arrow. Those were the nuts and bolts of the bow. So I want to get it put together right now, and then we'll meet back up once it's fully assembled. So I know there's gonna be at least a handful of you say, Krik, get a bowstringer, don't ever do that, don't flex the limbs. I hear you. I'm gonna run through the checklist to make sure everything's safe before we pull the string back. You look top at the string, make sure it's seated on the tip of the limb. That one looks good. Let's check out this other one. Other one looks good. I'm just going to sight down the limbs and the string, see if there's any twist, see if anything goofy happened. I've been stringing my bow without a bowstringer since I bought it, and I don't shoot it that much. And so far, no twists. I don't leave the bow stored with the string on, so I know some of you are still going to scold me for it, and that's okay. And it does matter which limb is on the bottom, and now I'm just checking to make sure this is the bottom limb, and on this journey, the limb with the writing is the bottom limb, because that's important. And the bowyers watching this, or the other folks with a lot of archery experience, will tell you in the comments why that's important. This is how it gets its name, the recurve, the curve of the limb. And there's a lot of energy stored in this design, and that's why it's a really popular design and a really cool, fun bow to shoot. But at this point, I think it's time to get the hat turned backwards, get on a glove, and let some arrows go. When I turn my hat back, it's like a switch. Ugh. What movie is that from? Okay, so the arrow's nocked. This is my first shot of the day, and I haven't shot this bow since the Mountain Memories video, so please go easy on me. Let's do this. Yeah, I'll take that. You know what old Dave Wendy say? Or I guess that was his daughter, Wendy. But Dave from Wendy say, you aim small, you miss small. And I don't think he said that, but. Well, that skipped the top of the target, went into the woods. We'll go find that one together. Ooh, that's like bullseye. Shoot two more, then we'll go look at the target together. Yeah. Almost. All right, let's go look at that whack grouping. No. Blackhawk. Whoa, look, I only shot one arrow and it was right in the target. Psych. All right, let's go up to the woods and look for that other one though. I see it already. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked looking down the mountain valley. It never translates the camera, but I just love these mountains. That's all I'm going to shoot for today's video, because you don't need to see how bad I am. You already known that from before. Like I said before, the reason I bought this bow was I looked at all the reviews online, took everything into consideration coming from a beginner's and novice standpoint, and I have absolutely no regrets with buying the Samick Journey Takedown bow 64 inches. So pretty much every video I always ask for suggestions, comments. I'm probably going to keep shooting just because I got the bow put together and it's beautiful and I'd like to get a better grouping. But as always, what suggestions do you have? I know people have mentioned about making my own arrows, and I'd still like to do that, but dang, I'm busy right now, and hopefully will be for the rest of my life. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support on YouTube, on Facebook, on our Instagram, on our website, our patrons over on Patreon. Everyone, always thank you for your continued support. So the next video, I'm Krik, that's Stony behind the camera, and peace out, turtles.